Hello residents of Kebun Baru on our Facebook Live and Zoom. Thank you for tuning in to the Kebun Baru Community Sports Club Virtual Cycling 2.0 launch event. The Passion Cares initiative rewards our Passion Card members and allows them to contribute to a good cause through their participation. If you are a Passion Card member, do scan the Passion Cares QR code that you see on the screen now to participate in Passion Cares to do good and earn points. With every successful participation, 7.5 Tap for More points will be awarded to you, and another 7.5 Tap for More points will be contributed towards the community by our sponsors, Dairy Farm Group Singapore and POSB. Points earned can be redeemed to offset purchases at any of the participating stores, Cold Storage, Marketplace, Jason's, Giant, and Garden Health and Beauty stores. Last year, we did our first ever Kebun Baru Virtual Cycling Challenge, and we are very happy to have 200 residents participate in the event. Now, without further ado, let's kickstart today's program. We are very happy to have with us here today Advisor to Kebun Baru Grassroots Organizations, Mr. Kwek Hien Chuan Henry. We would like to invite Advisor to say a few words, please.
Hi, good morning. Hi, good afternoon, friends from Kebun Baru, as well as our online friends who are watching on Facebook Live and Zoom. We're very delighted to launch the Kebun Baru Virtual Cycling Event 2.0 today. As many of you know, over the last 5 to 8 years, we have been very busy. Kebun Baru has been very busy working in HDB, LTA, and NParks to build a series of cycling paths all around Kebun Baru and Am Kio Town. So over time, we have more and more cycling paths, and that's wonderful because our residents can move from point A to point B in a very convenient way. But while this is happening, we also need to make sure that our safety is kept, especially so as to ensure our cycling and our pedestrians community can coexist together. This is especially so given the fact that Kebun Baru and Am Kio Town have many seniors. And that's why we're delighted to do this virtual cycling event today with our like-minded partners, such as Singapore Institute of Landscape Architects. Now, our landscape architects are the people who help design the greenery in places that we're very familiar with, such as Bishan Am Kio Park, our park connectors everywhere, and the upcoming RIR, which is the, what's that? Oh, Round Island route. So Singapore is beautiful and it's green because of our landscape architects. I also take this chance to thank our general sponsors, PlayPoints, as well as Elites for joining us for this event. And I also like to thank parents from Baru sharing some excellent tips on bike safety, as well as bicycle maintenance. So without further ado, welcome to our event. I look forward to enjoying the rest of you. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you once again. May I now invite immediate past president of Singapore Institute of Landscape Architects, Mr. Ronnie Tan, to say a few words.
Hello, good afternoon, everybody. I'm Ronnie. I'm the immediate past president of SILA, that is Singapore Institute of Landscape Architects. So I'm a landscape architect, and like what you've heard from Henry, landscape architects are a small group of design professionals in Singapore that designs the environment. And when I say environment, it ranges from large-scale master plan to top gardens, your green walls, your waterways, like your Am Kio Bishan Park, your PCNs, and like what Henry have also mentioned, the Round Island route. Recently it was announced that half of the Round Island route has been opened, and the latest portion is the one So yeah, I do hope that some of you do get the chance to be able to cycle a little stretch. Some of the people in Jeju, right? Yeah, so it's quite nice over there. So coming back to this event, I think cycling means different things to different people, right? Some of us are in competitive cycling. Some of us cycle to keep fit. Some of us cycle as a recreation. Some of us cycle as a form of work, right? To deliver goods, to deliver food. But the common denominator is the space that we cycle through, right? And being a landscape architect, being a designer of the environment is also our hope to be able to design nice, conducive, safe environment for everybody to use, not just for cyclists, but also for pedestrians, and also for our biodiversity, right? So as landscape architects, we don't just design for human beings, but we try to enhance it so that we share the space with all the other creatures that we share the environment with, right? And so that's the vision, that's the direction of being city in nature, isn't it? Right? So with that, we're very happy to be able to take part in this and to be able to support the event. And it's also our wish to be able to share with everybody the work that we do as landscape architects, right? So please enjoy the event, and I hope to see you all on the cycling path soon. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Ronnie Tan. We would now like to invite you to watch a video to discover all about Kebun Baru virtual cycling. The Virtual Cycling 2.0 Challenge will take place from tomorrow onwards, 14 March to 17 April 2022. We have a total of 3 categories to choose from: 20 km, 50 km, and 100 km. All you have to do is scan the QR code on the screen or visit the link below to register, start cycling, take a screenshot of your results, and then upload them via the link sent to you after registration. The poster can also be found on our Kebun Baru and Kebun Baru CSC Facebook page after the event. I will now hand over the session to bike guru Mr. Terence Lee to share with us expert tips and advice on cycling and bike maintenance.
Good afternoon to the residents of Kebun Baru. I'm Bike Guru Terence Lee. Today is my greatest pleasure to be part of the launch of Kebun Baru CSC Virtual Cycling 2.0. Joining me, I'm very thankful to be in this event together with Mr. Henry Kwek, who is the advisor to Kebun Baru grassroots organization, as well as the respective guests from SILA, Playpoint, and Elites. In the next 30 minutes, I'll be sharing with you about cycling. Now first, let me introduce a bit of myself. So I'm Bike Guru Terence. Now, other than providing help and sharing my bicycle knowledge with the community, actually I have a full-time job as an engineer for NEC Asia Pacific. Now, how Bike Guru started was because I actually started cycling when I was 8 years old. Throughout these 20 plus years of cycling, I have numerous accidents or crashes. I'm actually living my 4th life. My worst accident was when I was 16 years old, after I finished my O-levels. Now, I was riding with a peloton of cyclists. I clipped the wheel of the front rider and I went down. I was run over by 20 over bicycles. I went into concussion. I broke my skull, punctured my lungs, broke my ribs. And I woke up after 11 days of coma. So today I'm standing right here. Now, my second worst accident was actually in Bukit Timah Hill. I was doing cross-country riding, so actually I fell a 3-foot ditch. When I crashed, my face actually plunged into a log that is so big. I actually broke my nose, my eye socket, and my cheekbone, and it was bleeding profusely. My jaws were also fractured. So what happened was that I told myself, if I stay in the forest, probably I will not be alive. So I carried out my bike out and I walked out of the forest for 45 minutes. And thankfully, I went to the hospital, and after waiting for 18 over hours, because there's shortage of bed, So there's shortage of bed, which means that all the government hospitals have shortage of bed. So I waited at A&E and hoping everything will be well. Then after I went for 2 week surgery to get myself back again, including having titanium plates on my eye socket, my cheekbone, and a half-face plastic surgery. So some of my friends say that actually, my eyes is very small, right? So they actually say, why not you widen your eyes during the plastic surgery? Yeah, probably I'll do that when I go Korea next time. So beside me, this bicycle is actually the bicycle that I rode during my mountain bike crash. So I didn't sell it away because it's of sentimental value to me. This bike, I bought it back in 2008 and it's still here today. So later, for the guests who are present, you can see some of the dents that was resulted from the crash. Now, so I've been cycling, and then I'm also a competitive cyclist for Geylang Cycling Team Singapore. Geylang Cycling Team Singapore is the oldest team in Singapore. So for friends who are actually listening to this live streaming now, and if you're interested to go into some serious riding, road riding, yeah, I can contact my coach, Coach Arif Hashim. The next thing is that, so through the years of cycling, and I realized that because for me, when I do something good for the community, I feel very good and accomplished. So back in 2020, which is the start of the pandemic period, one of my former secondary school teacher motivated me to start up Bike Guru. And that was how Bike Guru was started, 28 May 2020. So Bike Guru was started with the intention to really to help people, and I've been meeting all kinds of people from all walks of life, from doctors, lawyers, all the way to even food vendors. And I'm very thankful because it allows me to share my knowledge, and I feel very happy about that. Then after that, I was actually the content partner for OCBC Cycle 2021. I was also on national media, Straits Times, MediaCorp, Channel 5, Talking Point, Channel 8, Frontline, 前线追踪, so and so forth. Yeah, you all can go and tune in to MediaCorp to go and watch some of the things that I've shared, which will be very interesting. So this COVID has actually resulted in a lot of people picking up cycling. How many of you are cyclists? 1, 2, 3. Wow, majority of you here. Yeah, awesome. So you can see that actually cycling brings people of all age together. Whether is it like a toddler using a push bike, or even to a senior who is riding a commuter bike to the nearby parks and the markets just to chit chat with their friends. So cycling is a sport that actually can bring us very far, that helps us in our perseverance, as well as our endurance, as well as to have friendship with everyone. So now, when we go into cycling, it's also very important for us to know what bicycle should you buy? So this is the first question. So a lot of times people just go to a bicycle shop or go to Google online, and then they just read some reviews and they realize that, now the trend is this genre of bicycle, so everyone follow. Then some other time, another genre of bicycle, all these people follow again. So it's very important to know what the types of bicycle you need. Now, I've actually written an article on my website, www.bikeguru.sg. You all can go and check out on it, because there'll be a lot of useful links for you. In the website, I actually wrote what are buy the correct bicycle to suit your needs. So there's actually several types of bicycle, starting from the push bike for the kids, where they are unable to pedal. They are using their legs to kick and to balance, all the way to kids bicycle, electric bicycle, BMX, jump bike, which is the dirt bike, mountain bike, road bike, hybrid bicycle, and triathlon bicycle, as well as commuter bicycle. So there's many types there. You are going to read there and actually list out all the different characteristics. So after you read, you will know which are the type of bicycle that you actually need. Now, behind me is actually 2 types of bicycle out of all the 13 types on my website. This is a mountain bike. Now, if you want to go to do trail riding and off-road riding, it's better for you to get a mountain bike because it has the suspension fork, which dampens the shock when you are going in the trails. There are also 2 types of mountain bikes. Some is hardtail, which is the one you see here, only 1 suspension fork. The other one is a full suspension that has a rear suspension behind, so it's called a full sus bicycle. Now, you see the foldable bike that is that I'm pointing to, that is actually meant for people who actually prefers, like when they cycle from point A to point B, they decide that they want to fold their bicycle and then brought transport back to home. So it's also smaller in size, and therefore you can fold and then you can go into the public transport. Now, so some of the major questions that a lot of people are wondering is, should beginners buy a foldable bike to start, or a hybrid bicycle, or a mountain bike or a road bike? Now, it really depends on your use. For example, if let's say you are always cycling from your home out to this place and back, then there is no need for a foldable bike, because a foldable bike is limited by the wheel diameter. You can see that the wheel is very small, which means that you need to pedal more rounds to accomplish the same distance. Now, if you are just cycling from your home to point A and back, and it is on a PCN, where you can see that along Kebun Baru and Ang Mo Kio area is all widely connected with so much PCN that allows you to cycle, then actually a mountain bike or hybrid bike is sufficient for you, because these bicycles are more upright, which allows you to ride more comfortable. Now, so after you identify what type of bicycle you need, then you should go to the Singapore bike shops to check out the bicycles that is available for you. I will recommend you to support the locals, because all these local bicycle shops, they actually put in their hard work to ensure that all their services, their parts and components are available for you to purchase. Again, on my Bike Guru website, there is an article that talks about the flagship products for each bicycle shop in Singapore. I've visited quite a number of bicycle shops and took some photos and list it with their contact numbers and all this, so you can all call and contact them. Yeah, I do not get any commission from all these sales, so it's really for the community and it will be very useful for all of you. Now, after you buy a bicycle, you come home, right? You need to really understand your bicycle, because it's not just like just riding a piece of metal frame and then you go out somewhere. Then if anything happens, you actually do not know what are the parts that are spoiled. So I'll be sharing with you what are the important parts of your bicycle. So where I'm pointing to is the part. This is the handlebar grip. This is the handlebar. This is the head tube. This is the top tube, the down tube, the front suspension fork, the seat tube, your water cages, your seat stay, your chainstay. And this whole part here that I'm circling out is actually your drivetrain, where your gears are. Now in the market, there are several variations of the drivetrain, ranging, like the latest one now is the 13-speed, ranging from like 7-speed all the way to 13-speed. Now the prices will differ because it also depends on what are some of the aspects that you need. If you are going for racing, then of course you should go for the more premium and the premium drivetrain. But just for maybe recreation and leisure riding, then maybe like 8-speed, 9-speed is fine. Okay, so the next thing is, okay, so after you know how to identify a bicycle, you need to know how to set up your bike. I'll be showing you 3 items. These are the tools that you need that will allow you to ensure that the parts of your bicycle are properly tightened. The first one I'm holding is a portable tool set. This portable tool set is useful because it's small size that you should bring out for your ride. You can actually put it inside your saddle pouch so that when you're out cycling and let's say any of the components like your seat post, your handlebar stem are loosened, you can use this to tighten it. The next item is a home tool kit. Now this one is slightly bigger in size, so you can see that it's impossible for you to fit inside a saddle pouch. And because it's big in size, it's heavy, so we will use this only at home. There are also a few types of Allen key. One is the hexagon one. Okay. The other one is a star one, which is Torx. So the third item I'll be showing you is a torque wrench. So how different is it from this versus this? Very simple. If I use an ordinary Allen key to tighten the bicycle part, for example, I'm right now tightening the stem onto the steering tube. And if the material here is carbon fiber, you may actually over tighten and you will crack the internal structure of that component. Now, so if you look at your bicycle parts, majority of bicycle will have this the torque limit written there. It's a sticker or sometimes it's a laser in. So some will tell you 4 Newton meter. So this is where you actually use this torque wrench to do it. Okay, so in this torque wrench here, you can actually see the marking 0 to 10. That is in terms of Newton meter. So if this one says maximum 4 Newton meter, I will not tighten more than 4. If not, the integrity structure of this component will be compromised. So to sell a bicycle, it's also very important to know that you should pump your bicycle tire before each ride. Does all of you pump your bicycle tire before each ride? What will happen if you all do not pump? Maybe anyone can answer? If you don't pump your bicycle tire, what will happen? Okay, the answer here is puncture. You will get a puncture. Because what happens is that if you don't pump the bicycle tire, the spoke nipple will actually pinch into your inner tube that's inside, and that's where you get a puncture. So it's very important to know that you need to pump your bicycle before each ride. When you buy a bicycle, the wheels, there's actually two types of inner tubes that is to your wheels. The one I'm holding here, this one, which is the same as your vehicle one, is called the shredder bath. The one that is slimmer, that when you want to pump, you need to loosen the knot on top, then you can pump in. This is called the presta bath. Depending on which type of valve it is, you will need to get a correct pump to do it. if you are at home, it's always very important to have a floor pump, because a floor pump allows you to pump it easier. Now, the one that is holding on to my left hand here, this is called a portable pump. This is for you to bring out when you go cycling. In the midst of getting a puncture, you are able to pump it up. Okay, in my YouTube channel, there's a video that I shared about how to pump the tires correctly. Please go and watch it, where I covered how to pump up with, on a pester valve and how to pump up on a Schrader valve. If you are cycling, no matter whether you are cycling on the pavement or on the roads, it's important for you to wear a cycling helmet. Now, when buying this cycling helmet, a lot of people ask me, hey, Bike Guru, can I go to Carousel or Taobao? I buy something that is replica that, the shops are selling like $400 in Singapore, but then this Taobao is selling only like maybe $30. Can I buy? The answer is no. There's a reason why these protective items are so expensive, because he has gone through QC, and a lot of times those so-called fake helmets, they do not have the safety feature, meaning that if you fall, this thing may just crack apart without any safety feature. So you need to buy something that is proper. Now, it's also required by Singapore law that if you want to cycle on the roads, you need to have a helmet on. I would advise everyone to wear a cycling helmet no matter where you are cycling, because when you fall, you never know what happened. Like for myself, I was wearing a cycling helmet, and in my first accident back in 2005, my skull cracked and my helmet cracked also. So imagine if I don't have a helmet, then it will be worse. When you go cycling, it's also important for you to bring water bottles along. This is to keep yourself hydrated. Now, so some people are asking me, Guru, can I use any water bottles that I have at home? Now, some people say so right now I'm holding on to a plastic bottle. So this plastic bottle, you can buy it from any shops, Then some people say, can I use this type of bottle for cycling? I will show you why it cannot be. Now you see, if I put it inside, you see that it's very loose. Everyone agree? So when you cycle, this thing will just drop out. So it's important for you to buy a water bottle that helps you to keep yourself hydrated with the right water bottle. You see here? It's very sturdy. Just before you head out for a ride, it's also very important for you to waterproof your items. What are the items? For example, your mobile phones, your keys, and your wallet. You can put it in a waterproof pouch, and then you can put it in your saddle pouch or behind your jersey pocket, and then you can go out for cycling. Now, I will be sharing with you what are some of the common problems that cyclists face. Because all these problems, once you know the little tips to it, how to solve, then it will be very easy. Now, the first problem is a puncture. So as I mentioned earlier, if let's say you don't pump your tire, you ride halfway, then you get a puncture. So you get a puncture, you need to change your tires or inner tube. Yeah. So to do it, go and watch my video on my YouTube channel. Yeah, I have a tutorial video on that. Yeah, it will help you. Now, the next thing is these seat posts. Sometimes you ride halfway and then actually you realize, hey, how come my seat actually drops? Yeah. So the reason is because for For some bicycles, it comes with the, you see the seat clamp, it's the adjustable seat clamp. So this one, over time, it will sag down. Now, you see the seat clamp that's on my mountain bike, this is tightened by Allen key, so this one will not slip down. So these are some of the common problems. The next problem that actually people will face is this. So I'm going to dirty my hands a bit, and I'll be showing you what's another common problem. You see that the chain actually dropped already? The chain dropped. Yeah, so when chain drop, it could be many factors leading to it. So one of which is actually, let's say going through some potholes and then the chain skip. So what I can do is, you see here, this is the rear derailleur. So what I will do is I will push the rear derailleur cage in front and then put back the chain. And then you can see everything is working. Okay, so there's another issue that a lot of cyclists face, and this issue is about pointing the front light at a wrong position. Now I'd like to invite Mr. Henry, correct? Yeah, to turn on my front light. Now you can see that actually now this front light is actually pointing straight ahead towards the cyclist. Okay, and you will see what happened. Mr. Henry, can you help me on? Oh, I got blinded. So this is the issue that a lot of cyclists are facing. So it's very important for you to lower the angle of the front light. Okay, Mr. Henry, can you help me to lower the angle? Yes. So now when I'm cycling, I realize that it's much better. I do not get blinded already. So this is something that you need to take note. It's also by Singapore law that the front light must be white in color and the back light must be red in color. Mr. Henry, can you help me to press this? Red in color. Thank you, Mr. Henry. Next, I'll be sharing with you what are the tips to get on the bicycle and how to stop when you're coming, how you should get off your bicycle when coming to a stop. Because I realized that a lot of cyclists, especially beginner cyclists who wants to pick up cycling, they are unable to balance themselves because they are afraid how to start and how to stop. So I will show you some tips on it. If you want to start pedaling, you do not need to actually sit down on your saddle first. Because if you sit down on your saddle with the correct saddle height, you realize that it's very hard for you to reach the floor. So one leg at the pedal, usually I'll put it at 3 o'clock position. The other legs get ready, hold on to your brakes. Once I pedal off, I would actually sit on my saddle and continue to pedal. I have a short corridor here, so I will demonstrate how to do it. So this is how it goes. Now, I will demonstrate to you how I would come to a stop. It's very important that when you want to come to a stop, you need to know the proper sequence. If not, you would actually lose balance and fall off the bicycle. Coming to a stop, hold your brakes, and then step off without sitting onto your bicycle, and then you'll be fine. Now, if you notice, when I'm pressing my brakes, right? Which brakes do I actually depress first? You have the front brakes and the rear brakes. At all times, always depress the rear brakes. Because if you depress the front brakes, what happens is, the bicycle will overturn in front. This is what you see. we will now be going to the last segment of the sharing session. May all of you please get ready your mobile phones and go on to your QR code, because I need you all to do something. Okay, I'll give a minute for everyone to do it. Now, on the screen here, it's called quiz time. Okay, so this quiz actually will start. Okay, so there's actually a race period as well as a quiz. So we'll now be talking about the quiz first. Now, please open your QR code and scan at the, use a mobile phone to scan the QR code. For friends who are watching this live streaming on your mobile phone, please use a secondary device to do the same. I encourage all of you to take part in this quiz, because this quiz will ensure that the first 10 participants that submit the correct answer will get prizes from Kebun Baru CSC as well as PlayPoint Singapore. And the last date for submission is 16 March, 11:59 p.m. So more information will be shared later. Okay, I'll go through the quiz with you. Yeah, please continue to do as I mentioned. Okay, so next. Previous slide, please. Okay, question 1. Which regional park is located nearest to Kebun Baru and is suitable for cycling? Option 1. East Coast Park. Option 2, West Coast Park. Option 3, Admiralty Park. Option 4, Bishan Ang Mo Kio Park. Now, friends who are living in Kebun Baru, you all will know which is the correct answer already. Yeah, so quickly, submit your answers now. Next question. What is a typical width of a shared path in Kebun Baru? A. 1.0 meters. B. 1.5 meters. C. 10 meters. D. About 3 to 4 meters. Now you must take note that for some PCN path, because they have the PCN path comprise of the pedestrian as well as the cyclist. So especially the one at the Bishan Ang Mo Kio, some parts they actually draw with a red line there. So you can see that in the total there's some margin of distances given to it. Okay, submit your answers. Next question. Who is Bike Guru? Obviously it's me, right? So, do you know, if you have been through the earlier live streaming, you will know what is my name. If you have not, don't worry, go to www.bikeguru.sg and you'll find out more about me. So, submit your answers. Next. When is the start date of Kebun Baru CSC Virtual Cycling 2.0? When? So earlier we also mentioned that when it will be starting. So the first one is 1st February 2010. B. 1 April 2023. C. 14 March 2022. D. 1 March 2020. Very simple. Which year? I give you some tips. Which year are you in now? Okay, submit your answers. Next. Who are the organizers of Kebun Baru CSC virtual cycling event? A. Kebun Baru CSC and Playpoint Private Limited. B. Kebun Baru CSC and Singapore Institute of Landscape Architects, which is SILA. C. Bike Guru and Elites. D. Singapore Landscape Architects and Bike Guru. Okay, submit your answers. Next. Objectives of Kebun Baru CSC virtual cycling are to create awareness on safe cycling and encourage healthy lifestyle. True or false? Okay, submit your answer. I think this is quite straightforward. Next. How many different categories are there for Kebun Baru CSC Virtual Cycling 2.0? A. 5 categories. B. 3 categories. C. 1 category. D. 4 categories. Okay, please submit your answer. Next. Participants have about how many days to complete the Kebun Baru CSC Virtual Cycling 2.0 challenge? A. 10 days. B. 20 days. C. 100 days. D. 35 days. Remember, this challenge will start tomorrow. Okay, submit your answers. Next. Fill in the answers for me. Now, participants are welcome to visit located near Kebun Baru Community Club for drinks and meals. By the way, I recently I had this Malaysian style fried yong tau fu, at a nearby place near Kebun Baru CC. So do go and check it out. Okay, first option, Adam Road Food Center. Second option, Mayflower Market and Food Center. Do you know that just beside Kebun Baru CSC, there is a Mayflower MRT station? So you can actually reach Kebun Baru CC very easily and to cycle around the area here because you are easily connected by bicycle paths, by PCN, by bus, by taxis. Next, okay, C. So the next option is called Maxwell Food Center. D. Gimo Market and Food Center. Submit your answers. Next. By 2026, the length of the cycling path network in the Ang Mo Kio area will be extended to 27 kilometers. Do you think it's true or false? Do submit your answers. Okay, so before we come to the end of this launch event, Bike Group have a special message to dedicate to all of you who is watching this live streaming now. whether is it you are residents in Kebun Baru area or as well as other parts of Singapore. I want to let you know that safe riding, always remember, safe riding is the #1 priority. I'm my bike guru, and thank you very much for tuning in.